It all started in the small, rural town of Montague, a quiet place tucked away in the hills where the sounds of nature filled the air and the nights were deep with silence. But that peace was shattered for the Jenkins family in the summer of 2008. The Jenkins house was an old, creaky Victorian passed down through generations. It had a charm to it, but also a weight, like the house itself was hiding something. Emma Jenkins, a 32-year-old mother of two, was the last of her family to live there, having moved back after her parents passed away unexpectedly. At first, it was small things. Items shifted, shadows lingered in the corners of rooms, and Emma's children, an 8-year-old boy, Tom, and 6-year-old Lucy, kept talking about a friend who liked to visit at night. Emma shrugged it off. Kids had imaginations after all. But as the days went by, the disturbances grew. One evening, Emma was sitting in the living room after the kids had gone to bed. The house was still, and all the lights were off except for the faint glow of the TV. That's when she heard it, a soft scratching sound coming from upstairs. It wasn't like a mouse or a pet. This was deliberate, slow, rhythmic, almost like someone was gently scraping their nails along the wooden floorboards. Her heart began to race. She waited, straining her ears, hoping it would stop. But the sound continued, closer now. It was coming from the hallway just outside her children's room. Emma stood up, every instinct telling her to run, but she forced herself to move toward the stairs. As she reached the bottom of the staircase, she heard the unmistakable sound of a door creaking open. She froze. Lucy, her youngest, had a nightlight and always kept her door shut tightly. Yet it was now ajar. With trembling hands, Emma crept up the stairs, one step at a time, trying not to make a sound. She reached the top and walked toward Lucy's room, only to find it empty. The bed was neatly made, and there were no signs of a struggle. But the air in the room felt wrong, heavy. Her breath caught in her throat when she looked over to the corner of the room where the nightlight cast an eerie, elongated shadow. In the corner of the room, standing motionless, was a figure. A man, tall, pale, and wearing a wide-brimmed hat that obscured his face. Emma's heart pounded as she backed away slowly. She didn't know what to do. There was no way anyone had gotten in. She had locked all the doors. But as her eyes darted around the room, her gaze fell upon the closet. The door was cracked open, and inside, standing perfectly still in the dark, was her daughter, Lucy. "Mommy," Lucy whispered, her voice trembling. "Who's the man in the corner? He won't stop watching me." The figure in the corner didn't move, but Emma could feel its presence growing stronger, pressing down on her. She couldn't look away, couldn't breathe. The room felt suffocating, like the air itself had thickened. Suddenly, there was a crash from downstairs. Emma's heart skipped a beat. She snapped her head to the door, but when she looked back to Lucy, the figure was gone. In an instant, she grabbed Lucy and ran down the stairs, finding Tom hiding behind the couch. "There's someone here, Mommy," he said, voice shaking. "He keeps saying it's not safe." Emma didn't question it. She grabbed both kids and ran out of the house, terrified to look back. She stayed with neighbors that night and called the police the next morning. When they investigated, they found no sign of an intruder. But in Lucy's room, they discovered something strange. A set of footprints leading from the corner of the room to the closet, barefoot, dusty, and too large to belong to a child. What chilled Emma the most was the fact that the prints didn't stop at the closet. They led to the window, where they faded as if they had been walking on air. To this day, the Jenkins family never returned to that house. No one has ever lived there again. And the town of Montague, with its winding roads and shadowed woods, keeps its secrets quiet. But some people still say they see a figure in the window, staring out into the night, waiting.